Hello, Lose Weight with Macros family. Welcome to a brand new episode of Lose Weight with Macros, the basics podcast with me, your host, Verona, your behavior change nutrition coach. And I am helping you break that cycle of yo-yo dieting. Yes, friends, even I've been stuck in that yo-yo dieting. When it stopped working for me, I decided, nope, I don't want that anymore. I want to do another thing. And then I kept doing that. And then suddenly I kept getting the same results. But isn't it funny how we tend to think that it's us that's the problem rather than what it is that we're actually doing? That's what the diet culture does for us, friends. But today I'm talking about a good one. I haven't talked about one of these type of topics for a while. Today is Friday and it is a mixture of things on Fridays, but today's episode we're talking fitness. 5 ways to confidently work out when you've been away for a while. And we are fast approaching the new year, and my friends, many of you are actually going to be taking the brave step to go back to the gym, and I just insert applause sound right here. Want to cheer you on and say, you go girl, you better go and get it. But today, friends, this is just the intro. So we're going to be in for a good one. If you're somebody who is worried, you're a little bit nervous, you're a little bit anxious as to how you're going to get into the gym, then this is exactly for you. Grab your coffee because today's one is going to be a good one. So friends, you have decided to get back into the gym. I am absolutely proud of you. It is so intimidating. You got the gym bros flexing their biceps, and then you've got the women who are, taking that infamous glute pose. And this is what social media leads us to think. When you actually get into the gym, it's a very different thing. So many of us can get overwhelmed. When we get into the gym, it's like, oh, if you've ever been to a gym, believe me, you will see those kind of people. And you'll also see the people who are literally swinging off the chandeliers. Well, it can literally look like that because you can look at them and like, what are you doing? I don't know if you've ever seen those type of videos where the people are actually in, they go to Planet Fitness and they actually do the most craziest things. I don't know if they actually go in there and do that on purpose for people to film them, but you've got people swinging off the cable machine. Literally, they look like they're swinging off chandeliers. You got people jumping on they're doing things with apparatus that's not what it's designed for. So when you're new yourself and you go in and you see all of that, you're like, okay, let me come out immediately no. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. When it comes to being in the gym, I'm applauding you. Thank God it's amazing for you to start getting in the gym and to start actually moving and work it out more. Fantastic. But the first thing that I want to encourage you is to get back into the swing of things by starting small. Now, I know what it's like to be so stressed out and overwhelmed that you actually don't even feel like working out. But when you're feeling that way, even just doing a few minutes of whatever activity you've been doing, walking, yoga, etc., it can help your brain and body to get back on track. But if you haven't worked out for a while, it is going to do more harm to you than good. The DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, is actually going to be brutal. Now, that basically just means when we get the muscle soreness, and one of the things I do want to say in terms of muscle soreness is the more soreness you feel is not an indication or a good indication that you're doing it right. That is a myth and a common misconception that, I've got to be really sore. If I'm not sore, then did I work out hard enough? And then you go back to the gym the next day and work yourself out ridiculously too much, you actually cause an injury. So don't overdo it. Start small. And starting small, you could literally just go there and actually just have an induction. So if Planet Fitness do this, or the gym group, or whatever gym you go to, actually book yourself an induction. That's the first thing. And here's why you will benefit from a gym induction. You will have one-on-one attention from a personal trainer who knows their stuff, hopefully, and a personal trainer who knows the equipment and the apparatus. Now, it might not be an in-depth personal training session, but it will be an induction which they will take you around the gym. And then this is what they're trained for. This is what they're paid for. So don't worry if you're inconvenienced in them. January is an influx in all gyms all over the world. Everybody expects it. So for example, if I was a personal trainer working in the gym, so if I was doing PT training in the gym, this is what I would do. And you were my client and you can head to me, okay, what's this for? Could you point me to the elliptical machine? Could you point me to the treadmill? Listen, some of you might not know what a treadmill is. Most of us do, but some of us might not know what an elliptical machine is. Some of us might not know what a cycle bike is. So that's what the induction is for. So I would take you around and I would ask you a question, and it would just be a little bit about you. What's your goal? What made you sign up today? Welcome to the gym. Welcome to the gym group. What's your goal? Are you just trying to keep fit? Is it trying to lose weight? Are you on your nutrition? So I'd literally try to make you feel at ease as much as possible. And that's what this podcast is about, really, just to make you feel a little bit more at ease with the next steps, to get you prepared for next week if you are somebody who's ready to go as soon as the gym opens. So once I've got your goals as a personal trainer on the floor, I'm now painting a picture in my head. Actually, right, let me take you through this. But before that, rather than just taking you to those machines, what I'm going to do, we're going to stand in a not a bird's eye view, but we'll have like a lateral view of all of the machines. So then I'm giving you a walk through, a quick rundown or a quick run through of all of the machines that we have. So it would sound a little bit like this. Obviously, I'm going to be different to the personal trainers that are there with you. So I'm talking to you in a way that you understand, rather than telling you, you know what, this is going to be the gluteus maximus and the abdominis, and that makes sense to you. The point is, I'm making you feel comfortable with this. So we're giving you an overview of, okay, yeah, so we've got quite a few pieces of equipment in this gym. We've got equipment for, if your goal is to build little glutes, you want to build glute strength, we've got the squat machines or squat racks upstairs, we've got the weight section upstairs. Down here it tends to be a lot of cardio, and this is where we do our classes, and we'll have classes during the week. If you're somebody who prefers group classes, then you can come on a Monday, Wednesday. We've got boxercise, we've got stretch classes, which is amazing to do midweek, because if you're somebody who starts to come to the gym a lot, then you are going to need to be able to stretch out that muscle as well as resting and relaxing. So that is the idea of getting back into the swing of things by starting small. And that one thing has just given you an overview of what we have. Also, what I'm including is the benefits for you, which is why I would ask you what your goals are. Now, I could, in my gym, they give a free one-to-one session. So you have your free introductory session. Sometimes people like the introductory session, sometimes don't. But if you do get an introductory session, make it advisable. Have that conversation with the personal trainer. They're there with you. They're there for you. So you're asking them to help you basically set out your plan. And when it comes to setting your goal, you're setting a goal. I'm always talking about goals. Have a goal in mind to what you want to do. If it's something that you just want to be able to walk on a treadmill, how many days a week are you going to start to go? Now, when you're starting small, it means starting small. It doesn't mean small, then you're adding a big one and then an even bigger one and gigantic goals. Just try the small things and then start to do that once a week. So you could, for example, you know what, I want to start walking more. If walking outside is too much for you right now, go in and do a treadmill walk. And once you've started to do that, you could do that for 5 minutes. And you might be like, 5 minutes? Believe me, if you have not trained for a number of years, 5 minutes is going to feel like half an hour for you. Believe me. That's the idea. When I say small, I mean small like that. Then you could go and spend 20 minutes stretching and then take a shower. You had your induction, you've actually gone on some of the apparatus, you've actually tried something out for 5 minutes, then you've done some stretching, and then you've come back, and then you'll go and eat something that has a complex carb, protein, and healthy fats. You don't then go out and say, you know what, I earned this and go get Dunkin' Donuts. And some of you might actually go and do that. No shade here, but that's where you're at now. Once you start to actually progress further, and if you do that, I'm not calling you out on that, but that's sometimes our mentality is, okay, I've earned it, I deserve this treat, I'm gonna have it. Well, you kind of need to set yourself a goal as to how long or what are you going to do to build a mindset where you don't always default to say, I deserve this kind of treat. So number 2, create a structure for yourself. Now, personal training can actually help you do that, but you're creating a structure for yourself in terms of there are different parts of the body that you want to work. So most people or most clients, and when I was a personal trainer, I would definitely, and I still do, I would have an upper lower body split. So for example, social media, you see them working legs one day, you see them working quads another day, you see them working glutes another day, then you got upper body, lower body, push pull. You've got loads of things. That is the easiest workout split to do, and that tends to be a Monday and a Tuesday. Might have a rest day on a Wednesday, Thursday and a Friday. It depends what your workout routine looks like, but creating a structure for yourself will help give you that blanket template so you can continue. Number 3 is an important one. Don't compare yourself to others. We all do it, we've all done it, and sometimes it's easier said than it is done. But comparing yourself is, well, why don't I look like her? Now, if you're going in with the expectation that you should be doing it with the most correct form and you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, let's have a look at how your body moves. If you're 250 pounds or a little bit less and you are trying to do a squat and you realize that your squat depth isn't as low as Sally's over there, and she's a little bit lighter than you, and you immediately start to say, I'm doing this wrong. Here's what you need to understand. Sally has been doing this a little bit longer than you and has had practice to improve on her squat depth and her squat form. So by squat depth, I mean how low she can go in her squat but still maintain a proper form, and she's not arching her back and feeling the pressure in her back. There's almost so many different things when it comes to squat depth and squat form, etc. So this is the benefit of a personal trainer, an in-house personal trainer, if you can afford it. That is one of the key things that we look for is your form, and also working on strengthening your muscles surrounding your glutes, your quads, your legs. All of these things and the mechanics of your body, how they're moving, is different to somebody else's. So if you immediately go in and you're knocking yourself, your confidence is knocked because of somebody else, here's something to take into perspective. She's been doing it a lot longer than you, and she was once where you are. You're not always going to be able to do half a squat. You are actually going to lose the weight when you're consistent with your nutrition, you're consistent with your mindset, and actively working towards your behaviors. Once you actually start to get the movement and you actually start to lose the weight, because sometimes if we're overweight, we can't actually get the squat depth that we need. Some of us, let's be real here, some of us have got an enlarged amount of adipose tissue to be able to lose, aka fat to lose, or visceral fat that gets in the way. So that sometimes can also affect your squat depth. But when you start to do your nutrition, when you start to be that over a consistent 12 weeks, even once you start to get your nutrition down, you ain't going to be comparing yourself to Sally anymore. You're going to be like, hey, I'm seeing results, I'm feeling the results. Actually, look at my squat depth, look at my squat form. One of the things that I can encourage you to do is film yourself. Don't worry if you feel cringe, we've all been there. Film yourself, because this will help you see where your form was to where your form is now once you start to improve. Number 4, find people who can encourage you and do this with you. Now, the gym community, popular to contrary belief, there are some, shady ones, but majority of the gym people, they are so supportive. We are so supportive. There are people who don't like to be interrupted during the middle of their set. When they're taking a rest break and a breath, absolutely jump in and talk to them. But whilst they're in the middle and you can hear them like pulling and pushing and the last rep, that's not really the best time to say, excuse me, can you film me real quick? It's not the time to be doing that. However, there are people who will encourage others. Even I've had people encourage me, you know what, you do this, you do that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I used to be a personal trainer, but thank you for your support. So it's important to just be open. There are people that will willfully and honestly want to help you when it comes to it. So that's the value of finding a good support system when it comes to the gym. Number 5, don't be afraid to ask for help. So many of us can go into it and be like, you know what, I don't know how to do it, and we end up doing it wrong, literally because they didn't ask for help and how to do it. So don't let that be you. Ask for help. If you don't know how to use something, people are there to help you do it. If somebody else is looking like you, maybe that might not be the right person to ask, but there are other people that you can ask to do help. And the last thing is, don't do it alone. Do it with people that would encourage you. Do it with people that are on the same journey with you. It's so important when you're doing this journey to have someone with you, to have some form of accountability. For us in Focus on the Fat Loss, there is some form of workouts that are going to be in there, but it's not a one-to-one personalized workout plan. Now, when you work with me on a one-to-one, of course it's in there. So the plan is specifically tailored to you and your goals. So that's important. That's why when you fill out applications and you fill out the custom macros guide, when you fill out that question, this is what is taken into account. It's taken into account the things that you're struggling with, the things that you've tried, the things that you would absolutely are a no-go for you, so that once I'm harnessing your goals, I'm matching a plan for you that you can actually do, and you can actually begin to see the benefits from within a few weeks. Now, when people like Lauren came to work with me, and Lauren was saying that she was at a plateau, she was counting her calories, but no matter what she was doing, no matter what she was eating, no matter how many times she was counting her calories, she just could not seem to shift past that plateau. So when Lauren reached out to me, and Lauren is a teacher, so some teachers are not very active, but when Lauren reached out to me, she actually reached out to me to get her macros calculated, and her words were, I started to shift. I've not been able to lose pounds for 3 weeks, but instantly I've started to lose almost 7 pounds whilst working with Verona. And she actually said that she started to get clear direction now that she actually took the step to get help and not to do this alone. Now, there are so many other things, and I might actually do a couple more episodes on this, because when you do go to the gym for the first time in a while, or for the first time ever, it can seem daunting and it can seem overwhelming. So I just wanted to put these quick things for you here to encourage you, and to also, in wrapping up, to let you know it's okay to make mistakes. Make room for them mistakes, because when you make those mistakes, you learn from them, and you will be an encouragement and a support for some other woman who was just like you now. So when we first start working out after being away from it for a while, we tend to overdo it because we end up feeling guilty for missing our routine for so long, or we're worried that we're going to lose our progress, especially if you're going back to the gym after the holiday season. You're worried that you're going to lose your progress, but by overdoing it, it's just as bad as not working out at all. And the reason why is you're prone to injury and suffer from burnout if you're not careful. So ease yourself into it and make sure you have the time built into your schedule for rest days. Absolutely 100%. Rest is not going to slow anything down. Working your body to the ground for 7 weeks is not going to increase, for 7 days a week is not going to increase it or make you burn fat faster. Exercise does not necessarily mean you're going to get a faster fat burn. But make sure that you factor in those rest days. Your body needs to rest. Taking an entire day off rest at sometimes as well, that helps, because that is where the gold and the growth happens, especially your body and your muscles have time to recover, and they also have time to replenish, and they also have time to grow. That's when you're starting to see results in the rest periods. And that, my friends, is the 5 reasons and the 5 ways to confidently work out when you've been away for a while. If this episode has helped you, don't forget to subscribe and join our mailing list, where I will be talking more things like this over on the newsletter list. Don't forget to share this with a friend, and also leave a review of the show to let me know how you found it. Tell it all, friends. Spill the tea, the whole thing, all the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because I want to hear it all. The link to the survey will be in the show notes, and how you can work with me and grab all of the goodies over here in the family. And that, my friends, is all we've got time for. And the next time that you hear from me, it will be 2023. Can't wait. Hope you have a fantastic, happy new year. Hey friend, you made it to the end of the episode. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review over on iTunes. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's episode, or you need help, then you can contact me over on Instagram at VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast, or email me support@vanutritioncoaching.co.uk, or you can head over to the Facebook page VA Nutrition Coaching Podcast. It helps us reach even more women who are fed up of dieting, don't know how to lose weight, they're frustrated with following Sally's results and they're not getting any of their own, and they just finally want to shed some pounds and do it in a way that they can sustain and they can enjoy. But my friends, that's a wrap for today's episode. I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Until then, friends, stay healthy, stay blessed, and remember, if you haven't already downloaded your 5 ingredient recipe pack, you can go to the website vanutritioncoaching.co.uk/recipes and download your 5 ingredient recipe pack. Who said healthy eating was boring? See you next time, friend.